and no man shall buy you. Now, bond men and bond women, that's slave men and slave women. And the word buy means redeem. And the word Egypt is a Greek word that means bondage. Let's see if I can find that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The whole word Egypt?
See, try to find, it's a scripture in here that tells you that the word Egypt means bondage. So you know that it's talking about us going into slavery and not back into Egypt, because Moses took the Israelites out of Egypt. And when we was brought over here in slavery, it said we were sold unto our enemies, right?
Yeah.
The so-called white man has been our enemy since the beginning, since the first white man was on the planet. Because you know how they like to say that we come from apes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
That's the so-called white man's philosophy that he's pushing out there, because white people as a whole, they're not spiritual people. That's how come in black neighborhoods you got churches almost on every block, because we're spiritual, but a lot of our people don't know the right way to go. You know what I'm saying? See, I'll go back to I'll read about the first white man that was on the planet, not to mention Cain, because in the Book of Mormons, in the Mormon church, they like to say black people were cursed with the mark of Cain, right? But the truth is, Cain was black, and then when he was cursed with that mark, he became pale, because everybody on the planet was dark skinned. So Most High put a mark on him, which was he lost all his pigment, so that everybody else would know that he was a murderer. And the so-called white man has no pigment, because he has that mark of Cain. They're the ones that really got that mark, and they're the so-called murderers. To prove that, what happened to the North American Indians? What happened to our people? And the Latinos in Central and South America and on the islands. See? This is Genesis 25, I'm going to start at 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together in her, and she said, if I be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Now Rebekah, which is Isaac's wife, which is the father of Jacob, which is the forefather of the Israelites. And this is Jacob's brother, Edom. Well, his name was Esau, but he's Edom. This is the forefather of all white people on the planet today, the so-called Caucasians. They're really Edomites according to the Bible. And his brother Jacob is the forefather of the Israelites, which are God's chosen people. And so they were twins in her womb. And when you have a child, like you normally give birth to one child, one sperm cell gets inside the egg, and
Hello?
right.
I'm right here. I'm right what bus are you on?
Yeah, so when one sperm cell gets inside the egg,
Yeah, I was sitting here with this guy talking about the Bible.
it produces one child, but if you have 2 eggs, they get fertilized by one egg. I mean, one sperm goes into this egg, and the other sperm goes into the other egg. That's when you get
I see you. I see you.
not
right
fraternal, but
All right, go, bro.
all right,
Have a good day.
not fraternal, but not Siamese, but I think fraternal twins, because they're different spirits in those children. It's not the same spirit. Versus you get one sperm cell into one egg, and then you get twins from that way where they're identical. And 2 nations are in thy womb, two different manner of people, like the scriptures say, with two different spirits. Shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now the one people that was stronger than the other people is Jacob. Although he came out second and Esau came out first, it said one people shall be stronger than the other people, and that people that's stronger is talking about Jacob, because he's the forefather of the Israelites. And it's evident today that the Israelites are far superior than the so-called white man. You know, just because these Edomites are in power right now doesn't mean that they're more superior than us. Because we got a lot of curses on us right now for disobeying the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. It also said, the elder shall serve the younger. And this is like, as she was pregnant, let me slap some of my, yeah. This was as she was pregnant, that the Most High told her that the elder shall serve the younger. You know? So before they was even born, it was prophesied that the elder one shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. You know? So that goes to show you, whichever one that came out first was going to serve the younger one. And it just so happened that Esau came out first, just like Cain and Abel. You know, out of them, the wicked one came out first, which was Cain. Yeah, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, which is his name means wasted away is he. Talking about his pigment, that's how come they describe him as being red all over like a hairy garment. Because these white people are really reddish, a derivative of red. They're not white, you know, because their blood shows forth through their skin, you know, and they bruise very easy. You know, they be out in the sun for too long, they get pinkish red and stuff. So these white people don't get along with the sun. That's how come they gotta come up with things like suntan lotion and all this other crap that tries to help protect their skin against the sun. But that doesn't make sense because if everybody came from white people, how is it that dark-skinned people on the planet, the sun doesn't hurt them, but the sun hurts y'all because, you know, y'all don't have pigment to protect yourself against the sun. So if that was the case, that everybody came from you, that means everybody on the planet is more superior than you, because we have a natural defense against the rays of the sun, whereas y'all don't. But that's not the case. Nobody came from Esau. Esau came from the people of color. The only people that came from Esau are the Edomites, so-called white race, Caucasians, cave dwellers. You know, just look at their works, because usually, depending on how a person is, their spirit is manifested in the things that they do or their surroundings. You know, just like a homosexual. A homosexual, he has a homosexual spirit on him, So the way he dressed, the way he acts, the things that he do is manifest. It's his spirit being manifest in reality or in the physical world. So America is the spirit of Edom manifested in the physical world. And after that came his brother out and took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. Excuse me. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bore them. So Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them, because 1 score equals 20. 3 of them is 60. You know? And you notice when they talked about Jacob coming out the womb, they didn't describe him because he came out normal. Just like if you are printing copies, the same copies of a sheet of paper, and then one piece of paper come out blank or faded or however it come out, you're gonna acknowledge that because it's different. But all the other sheets of paper came out looking normal. So it was no need of acknowledging that because it was the same as all the other ones. At least the physical appearance. Whereas when Edom came out, he came out red. Like these demon babies come out when these Edomites give birth. You know, these babies be coming out looking reddish and stuff because they've been crying. You know, it's just it's not normal. But people see Edomites so much, so-called these Caucasians, these cave dwellers, they see them so much that it become a normality to them. You know. I mean, here it is. They're the only people on the planet without pigment. Not to mention the Moabites, because Moabites have been lightened up over the years too. Damn near Caucasian skin tone or tint, because these Moabites like to sleep with these Caucasians. You know. And a lot of these Moabites, which are so-called Chinese, they sleep with these Edomites, right? And their children come out looking like Moabites, but they're really Edomites because their father's an Edomite. Yeah. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter and a man of the field. So we already know the characteristics of Edom. They like to be in the field, and they like to hunt, fish, and all these other things for sport. Not just for survival, but for sport. You know? And they love going camping and hiking and all this other things like that. But but the so-called black man, Latino man, North American Indian, although you have a few amongst them that like to do things like that, but as a whole, we don't really do stuff like that. We don't do stuff like that at all. Yep, and a man of the field, which is the Edomites. That's why when they get wet, they smell like wet dog. You know, like even in the military. When I was in the military, I had these Edomite captains, you know, as a rank, and they was always like, "Let's go to the field." They're in the field like 2 or 3 times a month. You know, and that's damn near half the month, if not more. And it's not like they're out there really doing grunt work, because they sitting up in the tent all day, is telling other people what to do. You know, that's not something I was into. Going to the field all the damn time. You know. But these Edomites, they love that shit. Hold on. Got a precept. This is Genesis 4 and 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. That's how come these Edomites they farm, they breed animals to eat. You know, they plant their seeds to bring forth fruit. That's how come the fruit and the plants and the vegetables that these Edomites plant aren't as good for you as they should be, because the earth is not yielding its full strength for these Edomites. That's how come these Edomites, along with other sinister reasons, add GMO products to their food. They add chemicals and all these other things, all these other harmful things that are harmful to you, to try to make the fruit more bigger, taste better, and all this other thing of some sort, because the earth is not yielding its full strength to these Edomites. Because a grape in the ancient world was about the size of a basketball, you know, if not bigger. Excuse me. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. That's how come these Edomites, they go from land to land, you know, doing the rape, rob, and murdering the people in that land, or doing wickedness in that land, because they're a fugitive and a vagabond. They don't know how to stay at home. They got to keep moving, you know. Although they came to America and they've been in America for a while, but they're all over the place. You know, these Edomites, they do the worst crimes that you can think of, and they're able to run and escape it because they make the laws that are in place in America and in Europe, in other places that they dwell, like Australia. The first Edomite settlers in Australia was criminals, Edomite criminals, which are the Caucasians, you know. So these Edomites, they're a fugitive and a vagabond by nature. We'll read I'm gonna read verse 11 too. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. So this is talking about Cain, but Cain in the reincarnation is Esau, you know, because in Esau's day, he when he was born, he sought after to kill his brother Jacob, but he didn't succeed because Jacob is the forefather of the Israelites, you know, or Jacob was prophesied to be the forefather of the Israelites. That was his lot, his destiny, so to speak. But in later years, when the Israelites were established as a people or a nation, and the Edomites, they wronged the Israelites. So the blood of the Israelites cry out from the earth, just like Abel's did. You know. I'm gonna get another precept. This is Obadiah 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Because in Cain and Abel's time, there was violence from Cain to Abel. In Esau's and Jacob's time, even to this time, there's been violence from Esau to Jacob. Started from even before the Greeks, but the Greeks, when they was established, because they was, before they was established, they were Edomites anyway, And Esau tried to kill his brother, Jacob. And the Romans, the Spaniards, the French, the Europeans, you want to call them that, the now Americans, because you had all these Edomite nations coming to the Americas trying to conquer these people, the native people that was over here, which are from the tribe of Gad. So the violence that Esau has done to thy brother, which is Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And that goes, that ties in with the elder shall serve the younger, because the elder, which is Esau, because he came out before Jacob, but they weren't here on the planet before dark-skinned people, so they're not older in that sense. Back to okay. Yeah, so in Jacob's a plain man dwelling in tents, because what do so-called Negroes, for example, like to do? Chill in the house, play some Xbox or PlayStation, smoke some weed, or drink. I know me personally, I like to chill, drink a little bit or whatever, relax. Occasionally I like to go out and do something. You don't want to be in the house all day, if you get that claustrophobic feeling. You want to get out, get some sun, go see a movie or something, or go whatever is something that interests you. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob, and we all know that Israel is a mama's boy. And pause real quick on another note. there was a bus that drove by with all these pictures of these Arabs and other dark-skinned people on this bus. It was like 10 or 15 pictures of them lined up side by side, and above it says, "The faces of global terrorism." So these Edomites are putting it into the people's mind of what the enemy looks like, or what they say the enemy looks like. But that's the devil for you, because the real enemy of this planet is the so-called white people. You know, they're the ones destroying the earth. They're the ones destroying other groups of people. You know, they're the ones committing genocide and doing wickedly for the most part. You know. But that's how you know they're the devil, because they're deceivers, you know. And they're so good at it that these people have no idea that the so-called white man's the devil. Especially these so-called gooks, man. These gooks have no idea. At least the peons, you know. At least the peons don't. And then the illusion is so great that they don't even realize that they're the devil. Yeah, man. Alright, back to the scriptures. Yeah, no, so Jacob and Rebecca loved Jacob. You know. And even today, most Israelites are raised by their mom because the dad is absent. But part of the reason why the dad is absent because the mom is such a demon that the dad doesn't want to be around her. And that's scriptural. Because it said, I'd rather dwell in a house with a dragon and a lion than to keep house with a wicked woman. So if these women weren't wicked, then their man would be dwelling with them. But these women are wicked. If I can find that precept. It escapes me. Yeah, here it is. Well, this is one. This is Proverbs 21 and 9. Yeah. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. Yeah. So, man, these women, man, these women, especially the so-called nigger woman, the Israelite women in general, wicked as it can be, and they don't even know it because they're going by the standards of this world, which is wicked. The standards of this world is wickedness. You know, wickedness is looked at as being an okay thing in this world. So if you're going by that standard, you're wicked. You know, so they're like, I ain't wrong. I can